So Rufus won't have any nightmares, at least for the first part of the evening here. And I'll go over a general recap for Jeremy. So after the clearing of Providence, the group made their way to Manhattan as it became obvious to the powers that be that the Sabbat was massing possibly one of the largest war parties on record to take back Manhattan. And as such, the Lucen and y'all have been volunteered as frontline shock troops in dealing with the Sabbat threat, as it seems that there have been a great deal of Archons being killed off quietly in the last few months. So as this warband has begun to grow in size and number, albeit quietly, which is uncharacteristic for the Sabbat. The Camarilla has lost many of its agents and is feeling a bit thin. And now, especially as the group made it to Manhattan, Manhattan may be a populous city of vampires. It was, I believe, I boasted, can't remember how many vampires I said. Roughly, it was in the city. It was, I think, over 50, which is a large number of Camarilla vampires in one city. But the boroughs help support that many vampires as they spread out. Is a very young and unwilling populace to deal with the Sabbat threat, but nonetheless, if they want to keep the domains that they have begun to create, that they will be participating in fighting them. As such, the group met with Katerina the Wise, who is the declared Prince of New York. She is a Bruja of some age. And her seneschal is Calvaros, who was the war prince put in place after the Camarilla took back Manhattan from the Spot.
I'm actually quite familiar with both of those characters.
So they're currently running New York City, and the coterie that was here met with Katerina. She, bid them welcome, kind of told them of her concerns. There was the conversation about how the Sabbat has changed up its tactics. It's got a lot more quiet. It doesn't perform a lot of the stereotypical Sabbat antics that have been telltale for the Camarilla to discover their presence in the city. So the idea now that the Sabbat probably outnumber the Camarilla 2-1 in the greater Manhattan area, or greater New York area, even as Boston is being tested by a bunch of nomad packs, is a little disconcerting for the Ivory Tower. So the group split up and dealt with some of their own businesses and interests. Rufus, being the most dutiful, ended up tracking and discovering some of the Sabbat's new tactics, which is they drag back disenfranchised and young to their havens, and they're having all of their blood feasts and things there, and not performing the stereotypical or atypical Sabbat shenanigans of causing trouble, not really respecting the masquerade, or acknowledging the idea that they needed quiet. And so it's a brand new 21st century Sabbat as well. Everyone else kind of did some of their own personal stuff. The La Sombra mixed and mingled with mortal high society, while the Nosferatu met with her clan to deal with a clan concern. So as we begin the next session, it's just the next night, so everyone can spend a blood point for me. And within another evening will be the first court that anyone, that the group can be in attendance for.
Can I roll a d10 to see how many blood I have?
By all means.
Thank you.
And Arthur, it's quite simply you went back home because your sire was being besieged by a couple nomad packs, and between the both of you and Lance, you took care of them.
Okay. I'll be hunting since I have 1 blood point left.
Okay. You apparently came straight back here after all the fighting, as you were concerned that it would look bad if you were gone for too long.
Yes, I will not let my sire down.
There you go. She was quite happy with you in your diligent service of saving Stedford. I can't remember what was the name of the town again.
I think it was Stratford, Connecticut.
She sends you on your way, pretty content that things are going well for you with Lucen as well. So we'll begin the game with our early rise vampire as usual. What would he like to do with the few hours before everyone else gets up?
He's gonna, wake up, get dressed, and head down. Grab a newspaper and probably head down to the local VA. He'll do his volunteer work today.
Okay. Right on. What is that? You can pretty much do that until sunrise. So you can just tell me if you want to just do something else once I get done with these two individuals.
Yep.
What would Natalia and Arthur like to do?
Arthur's going hunting.
Okay. What about Natalia?
Just check in to see if I have any callbacks from her mentor, her sire.
She would, and she would have a way to contact him back whenever she would basically wake up or get to a place where she could call him.
She would make sure to do that first thing then.
Okay. So since you're hunting, Arthur, go ahead and give me, just a roll, and we'll just make sure nothing horrible happens, and we'll say you fill up probably for most of the evening. And we'll do the role plan here with Joseph. So you dial him up on the phone. It takes a little while as it goes through a handler or two, but eventually Joseph's kind of light, whispery voice comes over the phone. Natalia?
Sire, it's good to hear your voice.
What is it, my child?
It's New York. There's very few of us left there. They think it's our ancient enemy.
That one was from before. I got 3 10s, 6 7. Stalking very silently. Popping out of obfuscate basically to take out some bums.
So I do not know of any reports of such creatures in that area. Are they certain?
They seem to be fairly certain. I don't think they know what else it could possibly be. It does seem to be targeting our kind, our clan. Or perhaps it's just targeting whatever is in the sewers.
Well,
there's only 3 left to meet me.
Yes. If you think it's a valid concern, I want you to do the following. And he begins to describe a kind of a weird ritual. Does she have any occult? I can't remember.
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, it's like that. What a woo-woos with a feather. And apparently it's supposed to help you determine if one's in the area or draw one out somehow. A lot of them are bound to a certain kind of tenets is a little tough, insanity is a little too harsh, but it's somewhere in between, like a little bit of OCD. Like they have to kind of respond to certain things, and apparently this ritual is a way for them to communicate to each other or something that he just doesn't really go into. But if if you do the woo-woo and the wah-wah and an XYZ happens, then you know for certain it's there. Go ahead and give me a intelligence roll to like try to absorb all of what he's telling you. Like, okay, sure, I'll do that. Can I get a piece of paper real quick? Hang on.
Purely intelligence, huh?
Yep.
Yay. That's awesome, huh?
Yep. All right. So, yep, the woo-woo and the wah-wah, and you gotta hold a feather, and you're pretty sure, you know, the X, Y, and Z will happen, and that's what you're supposed to do. He says do that, and that should give you some indication. I would wish something like that before it would arrive. I will double my efforts to give you intel of that area. I think they may have underestimated something already. There is a concern I've had that the Sabbat have gained new allies. This might correlate. Find out what you can. Do this ritual, and this shall help determine the truth.
We're here in New York. There's a large pack spot here, a war party.
Yes.
That's our next step.
Yes. I'm aware.
All right. Well, I will do the best that I can with this ritual and hopefully get you more information.
Good. I will be at this number the rest of the evening. He seems proud that he said that.
Thank you, Messiah.
Good evening. All right. So Arthur can get himself, we'll just expedite that and say he can get 7 blood.
Okay.
Easy. And that takes him like the first half of the evening. What would everyone like to do with their remainder evening? Or I'll break in with the veteran here and see if he wants to do something different.
Rufus is going to volunteer until late in the evening, and then he'll probably check in with Raj and Apollo and see how the investigation's going. And if he has a little bit of time, he'll go hunting at that point.
Okay. What about Arthur?
Arthur will rendezvous with Lance and see if there's anything that he can do in regards to scouting and finding out enemy troop positions.
Okay. What about Natalia?
I guess I'm going to try this ritual.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So we'll go ahead, Carla, and give me a intelligence plus occult roll to do the ritual.
Who knew I would need intelligence plus occult?
Yeah. Go ahead, and you might want to spend a willpower.
Yeah, I will.
Lance will immediately tell Arthur that from the information he's been getting from Vincent and the other ghouls, that Raj and Apollo and Rufus have, my lord, my liege, they have been scouting out the enemy's movements, and they have the reconnaissance that we would so desire.
Then bring it to me. Meet me in my haven, and we will begin our war party.
Very good, my lord. And he goes off and tries to get a hold of them. All right. So even though you're not really sure you remember it particularly well, you're pretty sure just by kind of doing what you think he said in general, you kind of got it. You're not certain you enunciated everything exactly. No, I didn't say every word, every single syllable exactly right, but you kind of got the words. Kinda.
I did spend a willpower too, by the way.
The army of the dead doesn't rise up. You're fine. You think you do it all right, and then you leave. And now, from what he said, it should provoke a response pretty quick. So, in some ways, you do it and probably beat feet pretty fast. You're like, yee, I don't want to be around if that thing shows up. So we'll give you kind of put you on hold here for a second, since you're going to get your answer fairly quick. But Lance will come back to Arthur and just say that, my liege, it seems that Lord Sterling has been working with Lord Apollo and Rufus. I'm not sorry, Rufus. Lord Apollo and Raj, wrong our name. To do these things, and they seem to be not responding to my phone calls.
What was their last known position?
He gives it to them. He's like, this is the lucky seven. This is where they're supposed to be meeting, and these are the numbers I've tried to contact them, my lord.
Okay, I will astrally project to that place.
All right. That'll take you a little bit of time. Why don't we hop over to Rufus? You go ahead. Who are you going to call, Apollo or Raj?
So let's see. Raj is probably the one who has a better idea of what's going on overall. He tends to sit behind lots of electronics, right? So.
Yes, though Apollo is actually the one who's trained the trained investigator.
Yeah, he's the guy in the field. I don't know. I was having a good time with Apollo. I'll give him a call.
You right? Okay. So you give Apollo a call. He'll answer pretty quick. What can I do for you?
I was just checking in. I'm finishing up with some obligations. I wanted to see how things were progressing.
Yeah. Well, they're going, man. These Sabat, man. They're dumping a lot of bodies, and they're starting to get a little careless. I mean, they're careful, but they're careless. There's too many of them. They're doing it, seems like every night now. There must be a lot of them in the area now. So this is going to pop soon, brother.
Well, we should meet.
Groovy. Where?
I named some location. Where are you at now?
And so, like, at that point, we'll see Arthur like zoom into Apollo's location and hear at least the Apollo side of that conversation.
Okay.
I'm just he'll tell you what are the warehouses you guys have managed to sit by. I was just checking in with some of our ghouls, some of our boys, and just watching them myself for a little while, make sure they weren't doing anything crazy. But they're pretty quiet.
Well, I can meet. I name a location that's kind of, pretty close to where he is.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll meet you there. And so, Apollo, and I assume Arthur just kind of follows with him, Ashley. Yes or no, Arthur?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Arthur eventually shows up with Apollo and Rufus, and what was this place? Just kind of like one of the other kind of warehouses or something?
Yeah,
like that?
just I just basically moved us to another warehouse down the line so we could check in there too.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys just meet, a block and a half up from the place, within view, kind of down the road.
So. Yeah. So they're dumping a lot of bodies now, huh?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them now.
What Do we have any estimates?
No.
No. How many have we counted?
Let's see. He kind of pulls out a little like notebook. See, the ghouls think there's probably, I don't know, maybe 40 or 30 ghouls between all of them, at least the ones we know.
Mm-hmm.
As far as actual vampires, it's not good. I mean, we're talking like, I don't know, 60 or 70 of them. And that's just like the west side of Manhattan.
Shit.
There's a lot of them. I don't know what this Polina cat's all about, but I think he's serious.
Yeah. We gotta do something soon, or they're gonna.
I think they're already here. I don't know if we can do anything, but like, what do they say? Batten down the hatches? No, that's not it.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna cause a problem just having that many here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
gotta find a way to thin that out.
Sure. We burned them out the first time, but I don't think that's going to work this time.
I think that might attract a little bit more attention. We should probably
Yeah.
start bringing some others in.
Yeah.
I don't know if Carl or sorry, yeah, I forgot the
Carla?
character name. I saw that
Natalia?
Carl there. Yeah. I don't know if Natalia is still busy with personal business or what Damien and the king are up to, but we should check
I
in.
got like a couple calls from his sir not appearing in the film. What was his name? Lance, yeah.
Lance, yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple calls from Lance. I just blew him off. Should I call him back?
Oh yeah.
He just starts like pulling out his
Like,
phone.
yes. He was probably calling on his master's behalf.
Yeah.
Arthur seems to be trained in investigation. He'd be a great asset to
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't like him. He just keeps like.
Now, am I here to witness this part
Oh
astrally?
yeah, yeah. You're like watching all of that.
I'm going to mentally project to Rufus something telepathically.
Okay. Go ahead and go ahead.
Basically, the one sentence: "This cur will suffer on his knees."
Hey, Rufus just kind of, groans a little bit.
Oh no. You poked the Malkavian. Alright, so back to the Nosferatu so she may join up with the rest of the party. So you give it, like I said, you did that in the first part of the evening, so as you go back a couple hours later, it's untouched.
So that means either I did it wrong or it's not here.
Right, exactly.
I like the second answer better.
Yep, you should probably just go with that one when you talk to your sire. Yep, it's not here. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
Well, that's kind of good news, but kind of bad news too, huh?
Yes, because there's still something killing off Nosferatu in the sewers.
All right. I will check in with my compadres.
Okay. So you go ahead and give Rufus a call, I assume.
Yeah.
And like Apollo's just he's calling and talking to Lance, and your phone rings, Rufus.
I answer it. Hello?
Rufus?
Natalia, how are you?
I'm well. I'm just wanting to make contact and see if we should get together and talk about a plan. I think we need to start taking action.
Yes, very much. We could be in some serious trouble.
I met an anti-tribute of my clan last evening, and he was rather arrogant about their numbers.
I don't know that he was overly confident.
I was afraid of that.
So, yeah, we've got some pretty good surveillance. We've had some counts, but we're thinking 60 more. It's bad. We should round the team up.
I think so. We'll need to take that in bite-sized chunks, I think.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to start working soon. They're starting to make a mess.
Gotcha. Well, where would you like me to be?
Well, I think the surveillance is pretty well under control. So unless you want to see the operation, maybe we should just head back to the rooms.
Very well. I'll see you there.
Okay. Click. So
Apollo is still talking to Lance, and he looks over at you and just like puts the phone down and just like you're pretty sure he's like, so what? What was? Is everything all right?
that's Natalia. We're gonna round up, kind of present what we got, and get some suggestions on where we start.
All right. Well, I guess I'll talk with this Lance and get him involved now that they're, I guess, back in town or whatever. So.
Yeah, he's a capable guy. Get him dialed in, and
I don't. All right. Sure. I mean, you're the boss, so don't get me wrong. I'm gonna do it. I'm just, yeah. She like walks off. Like, just talking like about the ghouls and just like starts basically handling the surveillance so you can go and do your thing.
Yeah.
What's Arthur doing all this? You zooming back to your body?
He's currently making plans to abduct Apollo and dementate the shit out of him.
Haha. Focus, Sabat. 3-1.
Yep. But after he watches Apollo for a moment more, he'll go back to his body.
Apollo just kind of does his thing. He talks with Lance. You hear that side of the conversation, and you can tell that given the way that Apollo talks to you, or even Rufus, who you just heard him talking to, it's much more deferential, respectful. Where he really does not like giving Lance the time of day, or Lance very much acts on the king's authority, and Apollo hates that shit. So they don't really mix very well. But he Apollo just concedes and invites him to handle some of the security, and since he knows he's a capable fighter, to take care of some of the more trickier stuff during the day, and he's getting along to get along, but Arthur can tell.
Yeah.
Lance, if there comes a time when you have to put a bullet in his head, you may feel free to do so, at your discretion.
Is that where you wake up and you're next to him and you say that to him?
Yes.
Okay. And he's on the phone. He's like, "Yes, my liege." And Apollo's like, "What? Nothing. You're fine. Nothing." Yeah, I'll be there in a second. And he just kind of clicks and nods to you and leaves. Right. So everybody's heading back. Or Arthur could have arranged for his own. Probably would have arranged for his own temporary haven for when he arrived. But Lucen has the lucky 7 and Hell's Kitchen kind of locked down for the coterie. So that's where those two are meeting. And she would have given you the information before you would have left.
I would have texted Lance before I left, but unfortunately Lance is leaving, and I don't really have another way to contact the king there. So
that's, if you do that, that's Lance would essentially stop, turn around, and make sure Arthur knew.
Yeah.
So
Arthur will head out to the Lucky 7 then. Their backup backup place or backup haven would have been at a nice piece of shit motel on the outskirts of Brooklyn,
Okay.
and nobody would expect a king to use, and he will only use that in the event that this one becomes compromised.
Well, you moved from one piece of shit hotel in Brooklyn to a nice piece of shit hotel on Manhattan. So it's kind of a lateral move, really. But otherwise, everyone gathers. I imagine, surprisingly, Arthur probably shows up first, and then Natalia and Rufus.
Yeah, and Damien gets invited too, but he's clearly busy.
He's indisposed for some reason.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually even pick up his phone.
That's fine. Yeah.
So, like I said, Arthur's chilling in the probably one of the larger suites that you guys could have doubled as a conference room. Except the this vibrating bed actually works, just for reference. And then Natalia will show up.
Gentlemen.
And then Rufus.
Yep.
I get a curious nod from Arthur.
Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Not a problem.
So, have you been filled in?
No. Why don't you bring me up to speed?
So, the Sabbat are using some slightly modified tactics. They still seem to be going after those that no one will miss. They prefer to feed until death. So they're dumping bodies, but they're being careful. Breaking and entering, kidnapping. It's up all around the area, and they're grabbing them from a wide net here. So not just where they are locally. They're bringing them back to their havens. They're doing their business there, and then they're dumping the bodies. They seem to be using very young vampires or ghouls to dump the bodies. They're going out just prior to the break of dawn to get rid of them. That was how we found them. We followed them back to at least one temporary haven, and we've branched out the search from there.
See.
The count I got tonight said that we're guessing that there's at least 60, probably more.
But not in the same location, correct?
Well, obviously not in the same building, no, but they seem to be clustered in the same area.
I see. Well,
They seem to be hanging out in Queens, if I remember correctly.
I see. Well, we should plan.
Except you just got intel that they're now in the west side of Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
So they're spreading.
They're spreading, yeah. It seems like we see them spreading through the west side of Manhattan as well.
Well, do you have a feeling for which location we should take on first?
I have to check my notes. I thought we could go over that together. You haven't seen the raw data, and I think we can get that pulled up on a screen here somewhere.
All right.
So, I'll try and maybe dial in Raj for some technical assistance if I need it. But I'll try and see if I can pull up some notes.
You call Bruja tech support.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that would work. You might get pissed, and then what happens? But
yeah, you might bang on the keyboard really hard.
Like just throw the phone. You're not listening to me. God damn it. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, and you guys are trying to pull up what exact information?
Well, I was kind of hoping that they were keeping their notes somewhere that we could all access them, so I could at least point out some maps, so we could say, here's where they're staying, here's numbers, here's.
They put it on Google Drive.
They don't. Raj is your coordination and
Yeah.
collaboration in that way. Apollo is like old school. He writes everything down, so he has to get all that information from him.
Yep.
He's your hub, so that's his job. So so when you contact him, it's like, okay, what's going on? He's created a map. Queens is pretty much a spider web of all these kind of impromptu havens that they've created. And now he's updating for the last few nights, and it seems like the west side of Manhattan, isn't that the New Jersey side? Do I got that right? Yes? No?
West is New Jersey side, yeah.
Yes. Is like now swarming with Sabbat. Like it's as bad as Queens.
So there we go, and none of the havens like stick out as what. So the west side's the newer locations, right?
Yes, that's which almost seemed to crop up overnight. Feels like it, but
maybe they were there before. We just
probably
noticed.
You just started to really notice.
So yeah, I think if I put that information up, and this is how we're screwed.
Well,
I
do we have
I
a feeling for what the size of these groups are in these havens?
I know when I've seen them dumping bodies, it's 4 guys in a car.
The group havens range from 8 to probably 15.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually about 2 packs or 1 large pack, like a war pack that may have like formed it up. He's enough Sabbat lore to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of Sabbat lore. Would I be able to give any other insight into that?
Just the pattern that when they group up like that, they might be forming a larger war pack. So that's why the living commuting space is kind of going smoother, is because they're all doing Revolvery now together as a pact, instead of initially 2 separate packs in a group. But some of that's probably just accommodation problems. Otherwise, it's kind of just a little random as far as how they've been behaving these days.
I think one of the big problems we have is that if we hit the havens, they're all in close proximity, so we'd have to be in and out, extraordinarily quick. They can pull in reinforcements, and that would get us in big trouble. And once we start hitting them, they're going to know we're on to them, so they're going to get careful.
Agreed. So we should target a number of them for the evening, and take as many as we can as quickly as we can.
I agree.
Unless you have other ideas.
Not really.
I can't say that I have your expertise in Sabbat hunting, but it seems the longer we wait, the more we'll have to deal with.
It's better to I think help curb their numbers now. The problem we have now is that we're not hunting Sabbat. We're waging war, and we're not allowed to be seen doing it. So.
Agreed. But I think if the bunch of us team up strategically on a number of targets, one right after another, and choose perhaps a random number, not the closest together, but a random grouping, so that they don't know where we're going to hit next, I think we could start. You got to start somewhere, right? You got to start dwindling these numbers somewhere. We can't just sit around and watch them. We could wait and then and let their plan come to fruition. But I don't think that's a good idea.
Definitely not.
Arthur, your thoughts?
Jeremy stepped away from the computer, I think.
Okay.
I see an empty room.
There's no thoughts.
Yeah.
um,
No, I think you're right. We have to hit something. We have to start cutting their numbers down. We're going to be in trouble. We're already vastly outnumbered.
yes, I think if we should take as many with us as we can and hit them as hard as we can in as many places as we can. I would look to you, who's been doing the intelligence gathering, to say which targets we should select.
Not sure. Based on what we know, I don't know that I can pick targets that are better or worse. I think we're best. There's so many targets. We're best just kind of picking off a few around the edges.
All right.
Maybe we'll clean up the. Apollo said he thought some of them were getting sloppy, so we will we'll look for the guys who are getting sloppiest.
Alrighty then. I think we should be as random as possible if we don't have a good reason to choose any particular grouping. That way, they won't know where we're going to hit next.
Yeah.
We'll have the element of surprise, hopefully.
I think Arthur might be useful for that. He seems to have a head for random.
I see.
So we'll start.
I would ask His Majesty about that, but he's not here, so.
Yeah, he seems to be a little out of it. We should notify Lucent of our actions as well.
All right.
So we'll Lucent left way to contact her, right?
Yeah, she's overseas trying to get political funding for the campaign against the Sabbat.
So I was going to send her a quick message mentioning that the numbers are really escalating and we think we should start hitting some of these houses.
She would, yes, the response back, she would agree that if the numbers are escalating, don't even worry about, use your discretion. If you think you can squash a large number of them, do so. But if it's better to, say, you can find a more strategic pack to destroy, don't worry about the shovel heads as much as the more experienced, seasoned veteran Sabbat. The shovel head problem is another issue. They plan on torching most of those havens the night that the day before the attack. So okay. New York will burn one night, apparently.
Great.
Yeah.
So
so they continue their heavy-handed approach to dealing with their problems.
Well,
sadly, it's just their old tactic that worked for taking back New York. They're not interested in deviating from, I guess, a tactic that worked.
Yeah, I would think that Paulina had learned from last time, but we'll see.
I have my suspicions about the burnout. I think it will do more harm for us than it will harm the Sabbat, but I have my orders.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Lucent approves, guys. She suggests we go for some veteran packs if we can identify them.
That'd be the one with 4 goals.
Yep. So, I'll have to ask the guys on the ground which locations they're at, but seems as good a plan as any to me.
Okay. So what's the group's next step?
Probably to look at the locations and guesstimate counts and ask Apollo and Raj if they can maybe point out anything that they thought was a more veteran pack.
Sure. So, everyone give me an intelligence plus investigation.
Yay! Not bad at all.
I don't see your dice at all, brother. Hear me?
Hmm?
Like showing up eventually? Oh, no, that was Carla.
Yeah.
It's weird. I got 1, 10, 5, 9, 3, 6, 6, 9, 6, 6.
Decent roll. And those ones end up screwing out Carla.
I don't know why this isn't showing up. I got the text loaded and
Alright. So, you guys...
I got 6 if it's a difficulty 6, I got 6 successes.
and I was really just looking for a few. When you guys kind of pour over the information as far as trying to determine numbers and how the escalation is working, and how those kind of reports have come in, it does seem like the creep into Manhattan is a relatively recent thing, but that probably was happening as you guys were arriving into New York, or had been for maybe a week or so. And you guys have been breaking most of the information on the Sabbat as most of the citizens of Manhattan are terrified and don't want to do anything even close to dealing with the Sabbat. So y'all are basically the only ones taking care of business, as the sheriff, a Tariq, Toreador, went missing about a week or two ago. So you're really the only law enforcement also in the town at the moment.
Great.
So that you guys get with your information. Raj and Apollo are reasonable at spotting this as the Sabbat. Apollo more so than Raj. He's pretty convinced that if you want some of the more rough and tumble, hard living kind of Sabbat, you want to go back out to Queens and go to some of the first places that were reported. Those were probably where the nomad packs came in. They're usually the vanguards for this kind of stuff because they can survive just about any situation. So they were probably the first ones also to be taught or enforce this new way of dealing with the 21st century, because they're kind of nomad packs and the notorious ones that cause all the kind of Sabbat problems as they kind of move through cities. So that's kind of your prime target as far as he's concerned. And then he'll give you a couple recommendations based off of reports. He's not really sure if one's necessarily going to be better than the other, but he at least gives you a handful.
Well, we can pick one or more of those, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys have an opinion?
Makes sense to me, I think. I say we choose one and
Kind of thinking maybe we choose one towards the middle of their cluster.
it may be wise to detain one of the Sabbat of lower status and see if we can get any information out of him. Since they seem to have done that to our Toreador sheriff.
Shouldn't be. Man, that seems like it should be, well within our capabilities. I think we should hit one of the houses, though.
Agreed. Maybe they left somebody behind to babysit.
Yeah, and we can try and take a prisoner or two while we eliminate them.
Agreed.
I approve of this plan.
So let's pick a house that we think we have plenty of escape routes from in case we have to abort, and we'll go.
I say pick one on the outskirts. It's likely to be the least defended.
Mm.
You have a prime target. It's a old tenement block in Queens that some old Ventru was sitting on to screw with apparently some other old Ventru way back in the day. So it's just a stagnant, empty tenement area, and this kind of earlier band crept in there and has been staying in there for a time, as it's pretty dangerous health-wise for humans to be in there.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Before we get started on this, I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay. Why don't everyone take like a couple-minute break here? I think
Sure.
I can get some drink.
Yep.
Do. Looks like everyone's back except for Seth, so we'll just kind of move into the narrative. Do you guys want to do anything in particular heading into this area? All of it's condemned and has high wooden pockmarked with pollution and graffiti, dilapidated walls, those kind of makeshift walls that they put up just to kind of barricade people out, but just to be more so the building doesn't just collapse in on itself from the weather. The area in and around it is just broken off concrete and overrun patches of grass in between dead and barely surviving trees in this kind of broken down area of Queens. It's what seems to be a twin tenement block, so these two huge apartment buildings. The area in and around it, one of the apartment buildings looks caved in already a little bit from the top down. The reports say that they're in the dilapidated building.
I assume there aren't a whole lot of street cameras around here.
There's not even a lot of street lights, so it's pretty dark.
Awesome. So I put up, anybody who needs a veil, I put up a veil for as we travel into the area.
Oh, great.
So you guys head on in. You guys are being relatively quiet. thanks to the combined obfuscates of the Nosferatu and Volcavium. Though the area, as you move into the tenement itself, the stairs are broken and creaking. The metal's all rusted and warped. The elevator is permanently out of service at the bottom. The doors are partially ajar. There's trash and rat droppings everywhere. No light at all. The only light that does seem to be coming from the building is coming from the stairwell. And it is a reasonable amount of light. And it's flickering, so you're guessing it's like a candle or fire.
Okay.
Interesting. Hey, does telepathy cost a blood point?
No, and I assume Arthur has you all connected right now.
Oh,
Arthur
okay.
has level 6 telepathy power that he kind of acts like a switchboard.
Well, great.
You can just talk to each other in each other's heads.
Yeah. So, Arthur, do you want to do your reconnaissance thing before we proceed upstairs?
Sure, but if they have anybody that can astrally perceive, they might see me.
It seems less likely than them hearing us going up these creaky-ass frickin' stairs.
That's likely. It's too bad we don't have one of Hakeem's children among us with their unique ability to stifle sound.
Mm.
Let me go ahead and roll that for you real quick. I'm going to astrally project at this point then. I think it's a willpower, but I'm not exactly sure, so I got to pull up the book.
Every time you do that, Carla, your whole world shakes.
It's on a cushion. Not very steady.
How are we doing, Jeremy?
The book's up now. I'm just looking at the discipline roll. Okay, I'm going to do a test roll to see if you guys can see. This is not my roll. I'm rolling 1d10 just to see if you can see my dice now. Because I've cleared. Anything?
No, that's weird.
Nope.
Especially since everybody else is working.
And I'm not on the computer before that. Wasn't able to roll it. These come up immediately for me.
I remember you saying that happened. I think that happened the first time we started doing this, right? Like you could see it, but no one else could.
Yeah.
It happened once for me as well.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. So it's not. See, it's not just you, brother. It's kind of freaking Hangouts. So.
All right, Hangout. All right, so aspects. That means that my roll, astral projection, which is level 5 power. Psychic projection. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Too much shadow run. I make a perception plus awareness roll. Alright, so it's 5 dice. Let's see what I get.
And what are you trying to do again? I thought you were just popping out of your body to go check on them. Were you doing something else in particular? Did I miss something?
Journeying in astral form requires me to expend a willpower point and make a perception plus awareness roll. Difficulty depends on the distance and complexity of the intended trip.
Oh, I hand waved the other one. I have a willpower point at least, but when you actually projected before, but I don't mind, especially since it's just like up the stairs, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I would go ahead and pop out and walk out there.
Yeah. Just make sure you're down to 2 willpower at this point. But you do and kind of walk up the stairs, and they're being relatively. It seems ceremonial, but it's different. How much Sabat lore does he have?
He has Sabat lore 1, but intelligence 6.
Okay. So you're familiar with the Sabbat, has a tendency to ritualize everything and create new rituals. You're guessing, since this is one of the major ones, that it's either some sort of weird sub-ritual or they're just doing weird shit.
Okay.
But there's these small ceremonial fires going up the stairs leading into the second floor, and it seems they've picked an area where it's like not so much a conference room, but it's like a giant kind of, like a commons area or something of that nature. It was just kind of like a rec area for the apartment complex, and they're kind of nestled in there. They have a reasonably sized fire, so we're talking like campfire-sized, and there's 6 of them. They're just staring at the fire, kind of seemingly at random, going closer and then backing away at different intervals. You're not really sure what they're doing, but they're getting awfully close to that fire.
I will pop back and let them know that they're doing something with the fire.
Weird. I have a little bit more Sabbat.
I just like the vampire. Like, that's weird. Other vampires doing weird shit with fire. What's wrong with them?
So Rufus actually has Sabbat lore too. I don't know if he knows anything more about that.
He would probably be able to know some of the fire rituals that they do. Maybe a little bit more of the esoteric ones. Certainly some of the war party rituals that they most commonly do. But you know right now that they might have like banned some of that stuff just outright because it just isn't kosher or doesn't really play nice with the Masquerade or with mortals. So what he's describing doesn't really fit anything that you've heard of, nor does it really fit a weird derivative. So they're just probably making up something new.
Yeah. So it is.
But Sabbat do that. So.
Yeah.
It doesn't instill me great confidence that they're making up new stuff. They're either idiots or they're higher ranking.
Well, I'm impressed that they're so brave around fire. That may cause a problem for us.
Playing with fire is insane, and that's coming from me.
So noted.
The only time the Rokeeman acknowledges this is insanity.
Did you see any other ways in?
Did I see any other points of ingress?
Not really. They were pretty careful about picking the spot. They may have gotten lucky with the little rec room area, but it's small, so they're kind of in there tight. And the only real way to get in there is either up the stairs that you just went astrally, or through like a side entrance up and around. But both ways you come at them, they'll see you coming. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not initially. It's like it's left or right. It's not really one's going to be more surprising than the other.
I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to just go in and surprise them with overwhelming force. There's not really a way that we're going to get in without them seeing or hearing us. Even if I were to cloak us, and even if Natalia were to cloak us, that still doesn't take care of the sound factor.
I agree. I just wanted to check. So how you guys want to do this? You want to go quick, or you want to try and sneak up these god-awful stairs?
Well, if it weren't for the fact that we have to kidnap a couple of these alive, I would say we just burn this thing to the ground.
Yeah. Probably easily make it look like the fire started up there.
I can make it up these stairs silently. I'm not sure you guys can. Natalia probably can.
I don't know that I can. I can certainly try. I'm not as loud as you might think.
You can give a shot, stealth up and see.
All right.
Let's find out.
Let's do it.
Between Natalia and Arthur, you guys cloak, shoop. So you guys disappear, vanish from the mind's eye. Go ahead and give me your dex stealth rolls.
2 10s, a 7, a 9, and a 6. I have a stealth specialty of move silent.
Feel free to roll the 10s then.
Yep. So that's
So
4, 5, 6, 7 for me.
holy crap! Look at that. I'm a quiet little.
Everyone's
Bruja.
quiet tonight. You're a very quiet little Bruja. That's like 4 successes with 2 9s and a 10. Oh, I'm sorry, your number was an 8. Yeah, that sucked. What you got, love?
Yeah, roll tonight
What?
or anything.
Holy shit! Well, you at least succeed. But yes, Bruja is quieter than the Nosferatu. It's a topsy-turvy world. Do.
Yeah.
But everyone
That
makes it up
usual moment
quietly.
of like the squeaky step and the Bruja looking. Shh.
It's like, hey, I'm the one cloaking you. So you all make your way quietly up the stairs, and you see, much what I described for Arthur, these small little ceremonial fires leading up the stairs, and the group has shifted positions, Arthur, from where they were before, much like a mad teacup party, but they are still doing the weird chicken game with fire. So they'll try to either stick their hand close to it, their body close to it, their foot if they're really being wussies, or their face if they're apparently being brave.
Should we be checking for Rostrak?
Not yet. You're staying at the edge of it naturally, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I give most vampires. Unless you go close to the fire, I don't make people do stuff. I just naturally assume you guys just kind of edge against it.
That's
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
plan.
like do this crap.
All right,
So-
well, go ahead and give me some self-control rolls as you. Oh, I'm sorry, no, courage rolls as you attempt to fuck up some Sabbat.
Oh boy.
Don't fuck this shit up. This stuff, if you botch, you get derangement. So don't.
I'm not worried about derangements. That's just for the damn. 6, 2, 4. I got 1 success.
I better clear what I got here. Huh?
Yeah.
And that's just courage, right?
Yeah, and it's 6s. Oh, your 1s are still cursing you, but you have enough to at least start edging your way there. This is much like a self-control roll, or at least I'm going to roll it like that. So you need 5 to ignore the fire completely. So you're at 1, Natalia, which means you can at least start getting close to it. Are you cleaning that, or was that your cat, Jeremy?
Cat.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. How many successes did you get at 6?
I got 1.
Okay, and looks like Rufus is the bravest with 2. Okay.
Yep.
So you're all just kind of inching your way there, which you at least have the benefit of stealth and invisibility, so that works for you as your Camarilla coddled instincts rage against the idea of getting close to the eternal scourge of the vampiric condition, only next to sunlight.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me another courage roll.
Oh, Bosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I literally got in order 1, 2, 3.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, before I give you another derangement, I'll double check to make sure they didn't get rid of that rule before I just let handle one. But otherwise, yeah, that's not good for you at least, though. So yeah, Natalia got another 3. I got that right. So you can engage the Sabbat if you so chose. You just can't get near the fire itself.
Okay.
Where's Rufus? I think you're now at the same spot, right? Did you have
Yep.
2 before?
I had
Yeah, so
4.
Yeah, so you could actually play the chicken game with the Sabbat if you were so inclined right now.
Well,
the Malkavian loses his shit. I did say, out of jest, Natalia was cloaking Rufus, which probably works to your advantage as Arthur drops and runs. Like, he just drops his obfuscate and just, like, hisses and just full-fledged Rorschach and just runs it back the way he came.
Oh crap!
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
So everyone go ahead and give me initiative. Go ahead and give me initiative, Jeremy, as you probably will try to fight Rorschach and come back at one point.
At some point, I can spend willpower.
You can probably spend one part of this upcoming action if you want to.
Yeah, my initiative was 15.
Okay.
Remind me again, what's the roll?
1d10 plus your total sum of your dexterity plus your initiative. Celerity adds to your total dexterity for this purpose.
Wits. Dexterity
Wow.
plus wits.
Oh, and celerity adds to that?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Holy cow.
Yeah, because it just adds to your dex naturally. Now, of course, that changes if you use any of it
For extra actions.
Yes, that would be the only thing that you have to specify.
Which I guess in the first round I haven't really done yet.
Yeah.
Right, but if you can't use your initiative...
Okay.
I either get a 1 or a 10. That's just the way I roll tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. So the idea is that you have to specify which how much of the dex you're using for celerity, and that would get removed from the initiative total.
Yep.
So Natalia got a what?
21.
Holy shit. Rufus?
Rufus is gonna go with a 19 because he expects to use celerity for other things.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the moose go on 11. Then it's going to go. I'm sorry. So it's Natalia, Rufus, Arthur, and then the mooks at the for as far as initiative order. So the Sabat. Yeah, they seeing him flee in Rorschach, they howl with delight and chase after him. It's kind of that simple.
Super sweet.
There's 6 of them. They chase after him in relative Three Stooges order as they kind of bump into each other, really excited, trying to get after him.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to blare right past you guys is their intent.
Yep.
What will Arthur do? You're going to spend a willpower point to turn around?
I'll spend a willpower point to turn around, and I'll use my... if I have an action left, I'll use to draw my sword.
Yeah, you'd have an action at that point. Okay, you're going to ready your weapon. What is Rufus going to do?
Well, Rufus is going to jam a stake into the first one.
I think Rufus is the only vampire I think I've ever known who legitimately would carry stakes around constantly. It's kind of funny.
Arthur has it in his equipment.
All right, maybe the crazy person is a close second, but I always thought it was weird vampires carry stakes on them.
Yeah.
Here's a way to completely mobilize me. Here you go. But Rufus...
That's how I roll, man.
That's how he rolls, exactly. Natalia, Rufus is going to stake a motherfucker. What's Natalia going to do?
I'm going to step up, putting the fire in between them, in between me and the fire, and then kick one of them as they go by into the fire.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so we start at the beginning. Natalia, so they're gearing up to, they're bumping each other and howling with delight after Arthur. And so, you're just right next to one, and as one goes by, you just kind of you sweep the legs and you kick him back into the fire. Go ahead and give me a Dex plus Brawl.
I guess that's
More 10s and 1s.
Right?
Still continues.
But that gives me 4 or 5 successes, I guess. 5 successes is
One,
what's
two.
it?
Wait, hang on, let me go back to your
What's
thing.
the difficulty?
It's just 6. So 10 goes
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you have a brawl or dex specialty?
no.
Okay. So just simply 6 successes on that guy. He will abort his move to try to dodge the unknown assailant. Well, is that really fair? It
He
really
can't see
isn't.
me coming, can he?
No, he can. I was like, so yeah, you kick him into the fire. Go ahead and give me a strength plus. I think it's just 1.
For a kick, yes.
Yeah. The kick itself is not aggravated. Landing in the fire, remember, is aggravated.
Right. That's the idea. They like fire so much, you know.
Yep, go into it.
I guess that's 4.
So 4 plus that, and I assume you spent blood for potence, or did you not roll your potence, or is that your potence included?
Oh no, that's not my potence. I completely forgot my potence. I need 2 more.
Oh.
Uh,
And it's bashing, so it gets cut in half. So he takes 2 damage, but he does get effectively kicked towards the fire, and give him also 2 ag. So he doesn't actually fall into it, you just kick him into it and he gets burned.
okay.
Let's see, Rufus.
Let's see.
Feel free to snake a motherfucker. How much are you spending for celerity?
I burned it all 3.
Did you burn all 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna spend a willpower on the staking roll because I remember this being particularly challenging.
Yep. It's kind of hard. What is it, difficulty 8s?
I seem to remember it being difficulty 8, so I'm glad I spent the willpower.
Yes. Except you 3 to, I think, hit the heart.
Well, looks like I'm gonna miss then. Even if I.
Do you want to look that up for me real quick? Because we probably should specify that, given that's kind of his jam.
Yeah.
Do you have the book closed open?
I don't actually. I gotta open Google Drive to get to it.
I can get it in a second here, I think. Mine was closed for whatever reason. Arthur will take care of real quick because in between that, you're just going to be spending a willpower point and drawing the sword. I got that right? Okay.
Yep.
You hear them coming after you. You hear one howl a little bit more towards a yelp and a scream instead of a hoot and a yelp. So you think one of them might be on fire.
Oh, good.
Does the curse of the bad White Wolf Index hold true? Oh, it's there. Look at that. 280.
Be right back, guys.
Okay.
Sure. So take to the heart. Okay, so they changed it around. It is only a difficulty 9 now. You only need 1. But you have to inflict 3 damage to actually immobilize the vampire now. So we're gonna flip the difficulty a little bit. So the 10 goes away because of the 1.
Can you see it?
So you have the 1 with the willpower.
I get the willpower, so I hit.
Yep. So you need to give me your strength plus 2. I'd probably spend a blood to make the potence automatic.
That's my plan.
Can you guys see the dice now?
Yeah, actually, we can.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So strength +2. There's the roll. And spend for the potence. So that's going to be +6. And it looks like I lose 1 there, so 3 + 6, 9.
Yeah, you stake him. I'm not even gonna roll. There's no reason to. And like you're like one runs by you and you just like pop out of obfuscate in that kind of like predator way where you kind of like as you slam the stake into his chest, you dematerialize like up and like out of like in a split second, and the Sabat kind of has this look of surprise and then rigid horror as it just collapses.
Good deal.
They continue to go. The ones that are left, the kind of the 4 that are left. I'm gonna say 2 of them actually keep going, and the other 2 actually notice what's happening. So 2 keep going down the stairs. The other 2 abort to stay up, and basically at that point. Probably defend because they're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the other 2 leave. Because they're expecting perhaps celerity, which is actually coming at them. So go ahead, Rufus, for your first attack.
Okay. Just gonna go after probably the next closest guy and follow Natalia's lead and just try and knock him straight into the fire with a little bit of a punch.
Okay. It's distinct. Okay. Okay.
Ugh.
He will try to dodge.
Yeah, well, I think he succeeds.
You don't know yet. Yeah, okay, he does. You never know, but he manages to. I think that's Rufus again.
Yeah, unless someone else
It's
does for
you,
celerity.
brother.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Well, he got no dodges, so he's kind of humped now.
Well, then he's, I think, gonna be hurting. Yeah. So it looks like I hit him with 3 successes.
Yep. Go ahead and give me your hitty roll.
And I'm not gonna bother spending the blood for potence. I gotta conserve a little bit here. So I'm gonna just roll an obscene number of dice. Oh, I'm getting lots of 1s.
You can blame Carla.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 4 successes after the 2 1s knocks him out.
Oh, 1s don't cancel on damage.
Oh, they don't? Well, in
No.
that case, 6 successes.
Right. 6 turns to 3.
3 and send him towards the fire.
Yeah, and he gets the 2 ag that I gave the other dude. Okay.
So he's gonna be pretty screwed up. And that was 2 celerity actions. I got 1 more, and I'll try and knock a second guy towards the fire.
Okay.
And it looks like I connect with him as well.
Yo.
And then, boom. Looks like 5? Yeah, 5. So I think that becomes 2, right? Because it's round down.
It's round the screw.
But 2 damage, and he goes towards the fire.
Yeah, alright. So at this point we have 1 stake. Looks like
And
3
3
on
was...
fire.
Yeah.
And then 2 after Arthur. Yeah. Back up through the initiative order. The mooks will attack their respective targets, which being Arthur and Natalia. 2 on Arthur, 2 on Rufus, 1 on Natalia. Arthur,
Yes.
you're declaring your initiative action?
For this turn, first guy that comes after me is getting stabbed in his face.
Not his gut.
What's that?
Not his gut.
Nope.
Not his leg.
Nope, directly in the face.
Alright. Rufus, how much blood are you spending? This lady?
I think I'm gonna spend. I'll spend 2.
And what are you doing?
I'm gonna keep knocking people into the fire.
Okay, well, right now the 2 people are effectively as much in the fire as they're going to be.
Okay.
They're going to come back at you. And the...
Actually, if they're on, I'm gonna draw my sword then.
Yeah. Okay, you're going to draw your sword, I guess will be, and you're going to attack eventually. Natalia?
I draw my knife and wait for the one to come out of the fire so I can stab him. Oh, I'm gonna spend a point for celerity too. By the way.
Okay, that's a good idea, so you can actually attack his ass. Alright, so retrieved weapons. Waiting to receive. Okay, so we'll start with Natalia. You retrieve your weapon and kind of wait for Dingleberry to come at you.
Yep.
Rufus, you do the same.
Yep.
Arthur, feel free to stab the guy in the head?
Face.
Oh, face, okay.
In your face.
In the face. Yeah. In the face. Alright, go ahead.
I got 2 successes.
Alright, so, would he abort to dodge? He would not. So go ahead and try to bunk him up.
Alright, so it's 4 strength plus 1 for a net success plus 2 for the sword, so that's 7 dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lethal damage.
Okay, I have not been rolling their soak at all, so I should start doing that. So he takes 3. Alright. 3 to the face.
In the face!
In the face. The Sabat, Mookie Mooks. So we'll go with the one on Natalia. He's on fire. He's pretty much just coming at you as he has no weapons.
He wants to give you a hug.
That's probably his best weapon at this point.
I am going to wait till he comes by and stab him.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sorry. I had to trying to clear my other roll.
Well, here's the thing. He's stabbing you, so...
Oh, okay.
Right? So you're either dodging or taking it.
I'm dodging.
Okay.
I guess. I thought you said he didn't have a weapon.
I'm sorry, attacking you.
Oh.
What have you. Dex plus dodge.
I know.
Sorry, athletics, brawl, or melee.
I was going to say, I don't find a dodge. That's a little...
Right, so it's either athletics, brawl, or melee.
Okay. Dex melee. So that would be 7 successes, right?
Yep, you dodge out of the way quite handily. Yeep. As he just tries to come at you with a good old hand fist.
I step out of the way and try and stab him as he goes by.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's your wait until your turn. Let's see. The 2 on Rufus. So we'll do the first one.
They're just punching me?
Yeah. They don't have any weapons on them.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to let the first one hit me.
Okay. Soak 1, which I think you do.
Yeah, probably.
Next one.
Yeah, soaked 1.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do enough to harm you.
That looks like 3, right?
Yeah, so that's still just a 1.
Okay.
And then the 2 on Arthur. So it's a hit on Arthur. One. Oops. 2, 4, 5. So that's 2 bashing. Arthur.
He's gone.
What a time to leave. Alright. I think that's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Natalia.
I'm gonna, having sidestepped him, I'm gonna stab him as he goes by. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Difficulty 6. 5 successes at difficulty 6. And I think it's lower than that for a knife, isn't it? Yes, no.
No, it's just 6 is
Oh.
fine. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. So, after the first one, that's 5 extra. They're not dodging. You got no actions left. No more.
Strength. It's just a pure strength roll. Strength plus my knife, which is 2, right?
That sounds right. I think a knife is a knife. Yeah, knife's probably 2.
And
So I think sword's 3.
if I spend for potence, I get 2 more. Is that the idea?
You get they become automatic instead of rolling.
Oh, okay. I'll spend for potence there then. Two.
Bring on the pain.
2 bashing. I think you probably served that.
Oh, I gotta clear here. I'm sorry. I got like way too many dice going on. There we go. Oh. I guess it's good I spent for the potence then.
1s don't take away, so.
Oh, okay. So with the potence, automatic potence, that would be 5.
Okay. Okay. So with that, he comes at you very wild-eyed after being kicked in the fire. You're surprised that he has that much control, but clearly he's not thinking very straight. As he comes at you, you just come across his neck, kind of like in a sideways kind of slide, as you sidestep him, and he just falls over. Rufus, your first celerity action. One's barely hanging on. He's having around 5, and the other one's around 4 wounds.
Yep. I'm gonna hit the healthier looking one first. I get the sword out so I don't have to touch their smoldering,
Nice.
forms.
Did they attack me yet?
Yep, you took 2 bashing.
Okay.
So 1, 2.
I don't know. You probably have enough fortitude to soak that.
Yes.
So they're not dodging?
No, they spent their actions.
Yeah. Okay. So looks like I got 2 successes. So.
Yeah, I'm good.
And we're just rolling for potence today. So that should be enough to cut him up pretty good.
Knock him into next week.
So, and then I'll attack the other guy. I think I'm just gonna backhand him. So I skewer 1, hit the other guy with a fist.
It's getting fancy, guys.
Yep. So 5. So looks like 4 successes after that 1. Oops.
Just give you a stun die.
Boing. It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
But that's kind of funny though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't you just take 2 successes away? I rolled the sword damage. I think a punch is just what, strength or strength plus 1, not.
Yeah, strength plus 1.
Yeah, so let's just take one of the successes away. But
sure. So
it's still like 8 bashing.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, basically, even with that, with the 4. Let's see how much he can manage to soak. Oops. He soaks 2, but that's still enough to knock him out. Just barely. So you can come across and you're just going to smash in his face, and between the fire and being stabbed before he falls over.
And yeah, that's the end of the round for me.
Yep. So mooks, those two are going to try to tag team. One's going to try to tackle you while the other one grabs some, like a cinder block to bash in your head. That's the plan. Arthur?
I am going to cut the gentleman I've already cut once, like an angry Mexican gangster.
All right. Rufus?
Rufus is going to spend for celerity and run down the stairs to help Arthur.
Okay. How much celerity?
I think I'm going to do 2, because there was 2 that ran past me.
Okay.
So he's going to help.
Natalia?
I'm not going to spend some celerity, but I will head down after them.
Okay. So Natalia heads down after them. You see the fight ensuing as the Sabbat are trying to illegally tag team King Arthur. Let's see here. Rufus, you come down the stairs and see the same thing?
Yep.
Arthur. And basically close the distance.
With the stabbing, here we go.
Natalia, you could have done the same if you're inclined.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You, at this point, will abort to dodge now that more motherfuckers are showing up.
Huh.
Let's see. How much did you get?
I got 5.
All right, just take off 2, but you hit.
All right, cool. So 2 net successes. So that's 6 and 7 dice again. Hmm? Yep. Oh, 8 dice. Okay. One, 2, 3 lethal damage. I'm rolling and it's not showing up on the screen again. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
That's so funked up. You do nick him across the cheek. Your Mexican gangster scarring technique did unfortunately kill him. Right. The mooks, one of them aborted to dodge, while the other one is still going to abort to tackle you because his back's turned to the chaos.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he got me.
He got you.
Tackle is what? Strength plus brawl to resist?
Dexterity, athletics, difficulty 7, or you suffer a knockdown.
Alrighty. Would a dexterity specialty of acrobatics apply?
Not really, no.
Okay.
He manages. Wait, what's the difficulty? I think it doesn't. No, he funks it up.
I got 3 successes. I got 10, 9, 7, 8, and I got a 1 that took away the 10, so that's 9, 7, 8.
Yeah, he tries to. I mean, he manages to get a hold of you and try to push you down, but you just kind of, knock him back.
Okay.
Now he realizes that he's surrounded. Let's see, initiative order. They're going to run.
There's still celerity actions, though, right?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You have 2. My bad.
I do.
Feel free to kill 2, in fact.
Yeah, now that we have him outnumbered a little bit, I'm going to try and go back to the stakes, get the guy closest to Arthur.
Okay.
So here's the hit. No 9s, so I miss. Technically, I think I botch.
Yes, so the stake goes flying. Like
Okay.
It bounces off his back in a weird way, and it just pops out of your hand and goes skidding across the floor.
Fuck, that's embarrassing.
Slightly.
Yeah. Yeah. So celerity action 2. I'm gonna just pick him up and slam him bodily into the ground.
Rufus's Brugia rage comes out. Go and give yourself control then.
There we go. Yeah, self-control. Here we go. Bing.
Yeah. You don't frenzy on him, but you're pretty pissed. So you pick him up, squared circle style. Let's go ahead and roll. It's just strength plus brawl.
Okay. So there we go.
Problem.
2 successes maybe. 7 and 8. 10's gone because of 1.
Yep. So now we both do the Dex Athletics. He got zip, so as long as you get a 7, you can basically pick him up and then toss him to the ground.
So
basically.
Dex Athletics. Yeah.
Rufus to the body slam.
Well, he's mad that he missed this thinking.
Oh, I did. I got the 7. I got 2 1s, but I still got the 7.
1s and the 10s still around.
Alright.
Yeah, you got 2. So you, like you said, you grab him and slam. So he's effectively knocked to the ground. It does strength plus 1 damage.
So that's that, and then the potence. I'm just gonna roll it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn. Yeah. So 2 bashing. 5 random. Bashing damage doesn't usually do a lot, so he's probably not used to something like this hurting.
No. And he manages to soak it, so you just so you don't do any damage, but his ass is, you flatten him on the ground, so you can pick him up and slam him to the bottom of the ground. There's a very surprised look on his face. He's just like, "What is happening to me?" As he gets picked up and down.
Rufus, stop dribbling the Sabat.
Stop playing with your toys and just kill it. All right, we're gonna go up from the initiative again. Our Mook is going to try to get up. Jesus, does he really have? He'll probably try to bite. He's going to get up and just try to bite Rufus. He's just going to go balls to the wall.
Oh man, he's just going straight into the gutter.
Yeah. Remember that he has to tackle or grapple before he can bite.
Oh yeah, look at that now. All right, he'll do it again. He'll try to probably clinch you is what he'd end up doing, not so much tackle you.
Yep.
That's why I like Garu. They can bite just because they feel like it.
It's kind of why we stay away, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I always double the Guru's health levels like old school Guru because that just seems to make sense to me.
Against Kindred, yes, it does.
Oh, just like when they're in their Cronus form, they just get like basically 12. Wait, no, is it doubled up? Is it
14 would be doubled up.
14.
Yeah, 14 health levels. Don't fight a Guru.
That's awesome. I am going to call shot to the neck to try to behead this guy with my sword, and I'm going to spend a willpower point in the doing of that.
Okay. Rufus?
I'm gonna spend 1 for celerity just in case,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna try and pick up the stake and jam it into his heart,
All right.
or maybe abort and punch him in the face. After a dodge. Who knows?
Wait, are we going to stake him or punch him?
I'm gonna try and grab the stake and then drive it back into his heart.
Oh, okay. You
some
do
sap-
know Arthur's going to attempt to behead him by the time you grab the stake. You realize that?
Yeah.
So you go
well,
grab the stake, and then Arthur's going to try to behead him.
Yep.
Okay, just clarifying.
I
Right.
might have to
one
go
stake
after the other
guy.
guy, but
All right, fair enough. Natalia?
I'll go after the other guy. There's one more, right?
Right, yeah.
So I just keep moving and I'll go after him with a knife. I don't know if I can close with him, but if I can, I'll stab him. If I can't, then I'll keep running, keep after him.
Okay. All right, so I guess we'll go with Natalia.
Can I reach him this round?
Yeah, you were on top of Arthur in the Sabat pile before.
Okay. Okie dokie. So I will, I assume he's running away, so I will stab him in the back.
He's just stabbing him. Stabby stab.
Stabby.
dang freaking ones.
Seriously. That's 1 success. It looks like out of, it's supposed to be 11. Yeah. So, awesome.
Yep. So you just hit.
Okie dokie. I'm going to roll my potence this time around. 2. Oops, I should have cleared, huh?
It just makes it easier because I don't know where the other one stopped.
You want me to roll again?
Please.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, right?
6, because yeah, ones don't cancel. 6.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and hit.
Sorry?
Go ahead. Is that the damage? Did I miss
Yeah.
that? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. 6. And you were hitting which one again?
The one that was running away.
Okay. So he's cool. All right. All right. So I'm trying to remember. Was that the one that Arthur had been fighting? I don't think so. Was it? No.
I think
So
that's the one that was body slammed.
right. Okay. Okay. Rufus.
I guess I grab the stake and start to close on the, and
Okay.
yeah, I grab the stake and Arthur's attacking this one. I'll try and close on the one that's trying to run away.
All right. Fair enough. Arthur.
Called shot to the neck is what, a +2 difficulty?
I want to say.
Okay. So a difficulty of 8. I spend 1 willpower. And I otherwise get 1, 2, 3 successes. So 4 total with the willpower.
Okay. Remember what called shot does? I think it just adds to your damage.
It adds 2 to the difficulty and 1 to the damage.
All right, go for it, brother.
Okay. How many successes did I get? Or was it all?
No, yeah, he didn't dodge.
Okay, so that's 4. That's 3 net successes plus 1 from the called shot. So that's 4 plus 6 is 10. All right. I got 10, 6, 7, 8, 7. So I got 5 successes.
All right. Okay. So that should drop him.
Does it take his head off, or does it just drop him?
Well, it basically just slices his neck open and kind of cuts somewhat into the bone, but you really can't decapitate somebody in combat. It doesn't really work in White Wolf combat, but it does kind of cut it open, and if he was mortal, it'd be arterial blood splatting everywhere.
Works for me.
Those dudes. Run away, guy. We'll run away some more. I think that leaves Rufus.
Yep, I'm going to chase down running away guy and try and hurt him with my stake.
Well, he spent his turn running, so you basically can keep up with him. But if you spend another blood for me, you could... Well, no, because if you keep up with the blood, you'll be able to engage him next turn. So we're just going to break from that and do that turn quickly because you're going to go before him.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me that attack. He is going to spend his movement, or one of his moves, to his attack to dodge that as you guys keep kind of running away.
Yeah.
Or were you are you guys going to try to keep up with Celerity or Arthur and Natalia?
I have no celerity, so I'm just gonna kind of take out a stake and make sure this guy on the ground, since he's not dusted, is not going anywhere.
Okay, that's easily done.
I will. I think I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna keep up with celerity. I'm gonna just. I imagine Rufus can take care of this guy.
Yeah, and he had the celerity basically to capitalize on doing so. So
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Rufus. Go ahead and make your attacks. You're gonna get that off before he can.
So there's 6.
3. So you hit with an extra.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm just using the stake as a weapon at this point because I don't want him to get away.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend the 1 blood for potence just to, I think, make this done.
That's probably wise.
And then extra successes, and then there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12.
Yeah, the one time you probably didn't need to maybe actually spend for it, right?
Yeah, I've been rolling so many 1s and everything, you know.
So yeah, 12. So as he's like running away, you two watch Rufus come up behind and just slam this stake down through this guy's chest and just kind of disappears into his chest. And part of Rufus's hand actually goes into
Yep.
the man's back just ever so slightly, and he goes down on the ground hard.
That's nasty.
Kind of bounces a couple times because it's like 12 freaking damage with like 6 points, so he just kind of reverberates off the ground.
Yeah,
That's all of them.
we'll readjust those stakes to make sure that anyone who didn't dust is not getting up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I suppose we should load up anyone who didn't dust into the trunk and take them somewhere for questioning.
Yeah.
I think the one upstairs was unconscious. You could probably stake him and put him in the trunk if you wanted.
Well, there was one upstairs that I staked clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I staked this one that I had after I sliced his throat open.
There's a couple, I think that the rest we kind of knocked into torpor and then, kind of made sure they weren't coming out.
Gotcha.
But the one upstairs, we should at least take him. I don't know if you want to take the others.
No, I'd say kill them all except for one and take one with us if you feel like you need to question them.
I definitely think there's some value in questioning at least one.
Maybe two in case one knows more.
Yeah. Oh. I guess we should throw the... Whatever we don't take, we should just throw on the fire.
Agreed, and I think we should clean up quickly, and we should
We gotta go.
do what we can to hit another tonight before they find out this is happening.
I gotta feed. That took a little out of me.
All right? It's going to take more than one pack a night, though, gentlemen.
Yeah. So let's
move.
Yep. So I guess we're keeping the one I staked clean, and
Okay. So go ahead, Mr. Humanity 7. Even though they are Sabbat vampires, they weren't really trying to kill you.
no, I started the fight. I totally brought this on.
Though you get your 2 extra.
That's true.
Yay.
Yeah, I got one.
So it's you're like, yeah, that wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but they were kind of jackasses.
Yeah. They'd have done the same to me.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So he gets as usual, Rufus gets a little melancholy after the killing. It just kind of gets that look. You guys are kind of used to it now.
I will step up to him and I will say, if it eases the light of humanity in your heart, sir, if they had their way, they likely would have killed you, raped you, and ate you. And if you're blessed, in that order. And then I'll continue to look at him kind of meaningfully for a minute to see if he recognizes the fact that I'm quoting a movie I just saw last night on cable.
And as much as I would like Rufus to know that movie, I don't think he does.
After no recognition comes, I'll just nod sagely as if I dispensed the most wise advice in the world, and then I'll go back to throwing about vampires on the fire.
Yeah, I'll load the prisoner.
Right on. I think that's probably as good as any place for us to stop for tonight, as another Sabbat pack fight would probably take a little while at a time.
Yeah.
But we'll end the image as you guys making your way out of the tenement area with the one lone body and kind of throw it in the trunk. And it's a great thing about this area. No one's really paying attention to it at all. No one witnessed anything. So.
Yeah, and the other guys are in the fire, so.
Yeah. Which I'm sure won't burn down the building.
Yeah, well, probably not, but there won't be any evidence of them at least.
So, right on. Everyone can take 4 experience points for tonight.
Sweet.
Excellent.
I'm going to be buying up some celerity, I think.
Yeah, welcome to the club. You too can be ravenously hungry after every combat.
Yep, basically. It's a little expensive now, but man, does it tip the fight.
Well, for Arthur, he'd use it more for the inhuman grace than he would for the speed. He'd be all about using that extra, extra dexterity for his sword.
Right, that's where it's kind of nice.
It is pretty nice for that, but those extra actions, whew.
So we'll shoot for the 18th. Is that the idea?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it probably works.
All right. All right. Well, I guess we'll double check with everyone to make sure there's any weird scheduling stuff. But otherwise, it was great with seeing y'all, and I'll talk with you soon.
All right,
Okay.
I'll see you later, guys.
Yeah.
Night.
have a good